Alright guys, if you want that authentic R&B, this video is for you. I'm going to show you probably, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chords you guys can use to get that R&B sound. Alright, so firstly, we're going to use the Rolling Cloud Galaxius, and we're loading up the JD800 Crystal EP, which creates a nice sound. This plugin is extremely CPU heavy. I would not recommend it unless you guys have a really good computer. First chord is a minor ninth chord. So you can go to chord stamps here, go to minor ninth, and just start here at A. We're technically in the key of E natural minor, but we're going to start at A, which is, what is that, 7 semitones down from E. Let me turn this up a little bit, y'all. Okay, now the next chord is really a revoiced chord here. And this chord is going to be our minor 7 flat 5. So the reason we use this chord is because of what's called the diminished triad, which is inside of the minor 7 flat 5. So normally a minor 7th chord would look like this: 0, 3, 7, 10. We're counting semitones. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 0, 3, 7, 10 always makes the minor 7th chord. But here we're doing what's called flattening the 5th. So we're taking the 5th, which is 7 semitones away from the root note: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to pull it down one note. It's called flattening a note. Okay, so now we create, because we did that, we create a diminished chord, and this creates tension within the chord. Okay, and then we're going to take this root note and just pull it down an octave so that it doesn't focus so much on the diminished dissonance right here. So let's pull that root note down an octave. Now this chord is not your typical chord. We are doing a really unique voicing here, so we're going to pull these notes back into position. So let's just do like the before, and then let's do the after. Okay, so that sounds kind of quirky, but it's only because of the chord voicing. So we're going to take the root note of the minor 7 flat 5. We're going to drop that down an octave. We're going to take the root note of the minor 7th chord and the 7th of the minor 7th chord and hit control down to pull that down an octave. And really we could loop it right there, but to create variation, we're going to pull this entire structure over to the left. And instead of playing our, the B minor 7th chord here at the end, we're going to swap it out for a different chord type. So this chord type is called a minor ninth with a suspended 4th. You don't need to memorize this. The point is here we're basically using a minor ninth, but we're moving notes around. Okay, so we're taking this 3rd, which is G in this case, the minor 3rd. And we're going to pull it up to create what's called a suspended 4th triad. Okay, so if we're counting the first 3 notes in the chord, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 0, 5, 7 always creates a suspended 4th. So what we're doing is we're taking the 3rd from normal position here, pulling it up a whole step so that it's a suspended 4th chord at the bottom here, and then it's still a 9th chord overall. So this creates the tension for the next chord, which is going to be our, dominant 9th chord with a sharp 5, sharp 9. So this is a very common jazz technique to alter a chord. Okay, so we're using what's called the dominant 9th. And the reason this works is because we're using a dominant chord that leads back into the tonic. Most of the time, when we're leading back to the tonic, we go up 7 notes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is E. That's called the perfect 5th of A. And we can create a dominant chord from that specific spot. So that's why E dominant 9th is leading back to A, because E is the 5th of A. And we're creating a dominant chord from that specific point. What we're going to do here is take the 5th and 9th, hit shift up so that it's an altered chord. And now we create this like stepwise sound here. So all these little nuances create the R&B vibe. So, you know, a lot of the sub kind of music theory is that fifths are leading back to the tonic. If I pull this up an octave, this is really the fifth of B. Because if we go down 7 semitones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that gives us the tonic. So technically, even though we pull this down an octave, we're going from the fifth all the way back to the tonic. Okay, so that's why this sounds interesting. And then we also have E to A, which is a fifth to the tonic resolution. So it's all about understanding the perfect fifth and the relationship with the tonic chords using those dominant chords. Let's switch out the instrument though, because this Roland stuff is eating up my CPU crazy. Okay, let's delete that. Now let's use Hypnos, which is my plugin at busyworksbeats.com/Hypnos. You guys can find it in a plugin bundle at busyworksbeats.com/premium. So let's use some keys here. I have different keys, mainly keys, strings, and and pads you guys asked for. So let's turn this down. Let's just go through presets to try out different sounds. I built Hypnos for more modern sounds, R&B techniques that we use. So you're gonna hear more modern techniques in the sound design. This area feels the most intense. Let's try one thing here. I just want to pull these bottom notes down one more octave to see if we get... I feel like everything needs to come down relatively. So I like the tone, but let's pull it down one octave. So this feels super modern R&B. Let's hit Alt S, strum some of these notes. Let's try humanizing the velocity here and then removing overlaps in FL Studio's piano roll script. This has a very unique sound. Now let's try changing the key by simply hitting Shift up and down just to try out different scales. Now you guys could add a melody in here, but I'm going to leave it just the chords for now. Let's try out a different key. I have an idea. Let's copy the bottom notes here. Let's make a bass layer. Let's activate another Hypnos. Notice Hypnos does not have a high CPU. In fact, if I turn off my mic chain, we're only at 13 CPU with 2 instances. Technically, I have Scalar open as well. So let's see what the real CPU is. So with 2 instances of Hypnos, we're only at 11 CPU, whereas Roland Cloud had, or Roland Galaxy or whatever it's called, took up darn near 60 to 70 CPU. Insane. Okay, so let's add this bass. All right, I'm just gonna go through different bass sounds. Now that we mapped out the chords, we can really just go through presets. you got your trap soul R&B vibe just like that. We might as well finish the beat here. Let's make it like a trap soul type vibe. Alright, so for the snare, we're going to put the snare on every other hit, so it's not like hitting all the way through. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, snare, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Normally we put the snare on the 3 and the 7, so it'd be like 1, 2, snare, 4, 5, 6, snare, 8, 1. But we're making sure we're spreading out. Let's add a couple more bass notes in here. My ear keeps hearing dun, 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 dun. Let's figure out how to add my voice. Now my computer is super loud, so what I'm going to do is run my voice through auto-tune, but then add it through reverb so that the noise is not so loud. Normally I record in my booth, but we don't have time for all that. So we're in E, was it minor? Da, 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 da. Right here, I need that note. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's record this, and then I'll run it through reverb. Let's record. Let me turn my gate up a little bit. Funny niggas, right side and no side and no side, oh. Baby, that's it, funny niggas. On the west side, on the north side, on the east side, oh. Baby, I say funny niggas. On the east side, on the north side, on the west side, oh. Baby, I say funny niggas. Tell me your side, tell me your side, when it's your side, oh. Okay, so I don't even know if I was in key. Alright, let's run that back real quick, y'all. Hey. Funny niggas. Right side, on the north side, on the north side, oh. Funny niggas. On the west side, on the north side, on the east side, oh. Baby, I say funny niggas. On the east side, on the north side, on the west side, oh. Baby, I say funny niggas. Alright, let's run that through delay. When I throw auto-tune on, I turn into somebody different, you know what I'm saying? I turn into somebody a little different. Let me find out I can sing a little bit through auto-tune. Hold up. Funny niggas. Right side and no side and no side, oh. Baby, that's it, funny niggas. I don't know why it's not sounding the same. It's not sounding the same, y'all. What happened? It's not sounding the same. It sounded different before. Funny niggas. It's like funny niggas. Oh, I know why. I don't think it. Funny niggas. Okay, I gotta add it in. Never mind. I realize why. Funny niggas. Right side and no side and no side, oh. Baby, that's it, funny niggas. On the west side, on the north side, on the east side, oh. Baby, that's it, funny niggas. On the east side, on the north side, on the west side, oh. Baby, alright. Now we gotta run this bad boy through Fruity Convolver. Where is it at? Fruity Convolver. Where are you at? Here it is, Fruity Convolver. Alright, let's load up a reverb of your choice. Turn the wet level up, dry level down. It's a little muddy of a reverb. I'm surprised it's that muddy sounding. I'm gonna go with Fruity Reverb too because I don't have time to be figuring out which one. Alright, we need auto-tune to be like accurate though. On the west side, on the north side. I don't know why it sounds so heavy. I guess I just sang too close. It sounds super heavy, so let's try to pitch it up an octave. It just sounds weird. Like the reverb sounds weird. Let's add some delay in here. I could spend all day trying to dial this tone in. We just need a better reverb tool. I don't think I have Valhalla on here. I do have Valhalla Shimmer, but I don't want that sound. We can spend all day on reverbs though. I just need like a reverb that's not so metallic sounding. It sounds very metallic. So we're just gonna tuck that down. It's not the exact sound I want though. Let's try pulling this bass down. I just realized all these basses are, the velocity is not the same. I didn't realize that at first. Restore that velocity. Dun, dun. I'm gonna change that kick timing. I did not plan to make a beat today, but this turned into a beat tutorial. Let's change out the kick timing. So it needs to be like doom, boom, boom, still. I guess it does need it. See, everything has a texture. try one more texture layer here. Let's add transporter over our keys just to see what it does here. So this is adding that extra glue of tone that we need. Let's add another layer here. Let's combine these and let's see if we can add, it might be overkill because the keys are doing like 99% of the work. Let's add another Hypnos. Let's see if we could potentially add an arpeggio layer or just something else over top. This may be too overkill because the sounds in Hypnos aren't meant to be like stacked with other presets. Let's just see though what it sounds like. Me add my own touch to it. Normally arpeggios would not be that prevalent in trap soul, but I like the sound. Let's try different basses. This bass has a lot more R&B sounds to it. last trick, we're going to take all of the music, hit Control G to group this together. Go to our left side, find that pattern, right click, go to transpose. Negative values will pull the keys down, positive values raise the key up. Let's try lowering this down 3 semitones. Now, because the bass is already super low, this may be too low for the bass. It's the only thing I can think that might not sound great, but let's try different keys now. Oh, also too, my vocals need to match, so let's pull this down. I forgot to, we're in auto tune, so that wasn't printed. I'm just gonna mute the vocals for now. Now, I do like the way it goes boom, boom. I like that part of the bass. Let's try raising it up 3 semitones from the original. Okay, so now we're +3 from our original key. The bass sits well, but the problem is I'm not getting that same vibe. So let's just pull it back to where we were, and then let's turn the audio back on. So let's play this one more time through. You guys will get the project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. All right, so now you guys know R&B chords and melodic techniques. You guys can learn a lot more. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/premium. We're doing an end of the year offer called the Black Box Bundle. You guys can get all of my courses in one bundle called the Black Box Bundle. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/premium. There's over 68 music production courses in there, from music theory to mixing to mastering to beat mixing, mixing vocals, even online business and how to market. So just go to busyworksbeats.com/premium. Subscribe if you're new, and you guys will get these project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. Peace out, guys. Subscribe. Peace.